Welcome to this video. Today, you're going to learn the difference between country, city, village, and town. This is a question that a student submitted, and I actually get this question a lot. So I'm very happy to clarify the difference today. Of course, I'm Jennifer from jforrestenglish.com, and this channel is dedicated to helping you sound like a fluent, confident, natural English speaker. Now, before we go any further, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. Now, let's dive in with this video. Today, let's talk about the difference between country, city, village, and town. We'll begin with country. A country is an area of land with defined borders that has a government, a language, an army, and other services. We all live in specific countries, of course. I live in Canada. Now, within a country, you have other areas of a land with defined borders. These other areas of land within a country, we can refer to them as city, town, or village. And there may even be other names, but these are the main three. Now, first of all, know that they are all areas of land with defined borders. They have that in common. So what's the difference between city, village, and town? It's just the size and where it is as well, but mainly the size. So let's start with the smallest one. The smallest one is a village. You can think of a village as a small community. Now, generally, it's a small community in a rural area. So a rural area is just an area that has a lot of land and not a lot of services. So you're not going to find many restaurants, you're not going to find movie theaters, you're not going to find malls or high rises or any of those. It's just a lot of land and a small amount of people living in a group, and we refer to that as a village. Now, the mid-size is a town. A town is larger than a village, but smaller than a city. Now, a town is generally in a rural area, but it will be closer to a city. So it will be less rural than a village. Most likely, you're not going to find a movie theater or high rises or a mall in a town, but you will have a more selection of restaurants and shops and stores than you'd have in a village. Now, of course, a city, you can think of city as a large town and an important town. Important for economic activity, important because that's where all the business takes place, the shopping takes place, the nightlife takes place, where most of the people live as well. So really, the difference between all three is just the size. So to summarize, the smallest is village, the mid-size is town, and the largest is city. Now, there isn't one statistic on how many people are required to live in each because it depends on a country's total population. And with that population, they'll have their own statistic of how many people need to live in an area to be considered a city or to be considered a town. So you'll have to Google that to find out what that limit is for your country and your population size. So now it's your turn to practice. Tell us what country you live in, and then you can tell us if you live in a village, city, or town. And feel free to tell us the population of your country and whichever area you live in as well, so we can get an idea of the different population size. As for me, I live in a town. There's no movie theaters, no shopping mall, only a couple restaurants. It's pretty small in terms of population. However, I live about 30 kilometers from a large city, and technically, the area I live is part of that large city because within the last few years, the large city has just amalgamated all of the smaller towns that surround it. But that's basically for tax purposes and for services as well, that I'm considered to be a citizen of that city, even though I live outside in a small town. So it's kind of confusing for me. I don't even really know where I live. Is it a town? Is it a city? And now I think a lot of people, this is happening to their cities as well. Their cities are growing and they're expanding, and the smaller towns that surround those cities, they're becoming one larger area. At least that's the trend in North America that I'm seeing. So maybe that's something you can comment on as well, and let us know if that's a trend that's taking place in your country as well. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and of course subscribe. Until next time, happy studying! All right, awesome job with this video. You're expanding your vocabulary. You're really becoming fluent and confident, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.